Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Three Takoyaki. My name's Katie.
I'm Shelby.
I am Sir Reginald of England.
And that is
I'm
Eric. Today
looking
we're going to
for-
go ahead and jump right into viewer questions, and then right afterwards we're going to start talking about Parasyte The Maxim. So Eric, what question do you have for us today?
Okay, so the question I pulled off from our social networks, I guess Tumblr. We don't really have anything else set up at the moment. Which we should probably set up a Twitter.
That's Shelby's job.
It is my job. I will get right on it.
But anyway, the question I pulled off is it's probably one of the more generic questions, I guess, because it's one of those things that you can ask this question for fucking anything. But if you could only watch one anime for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One Piece.
One anime or one genre?
One anime, one show,
One
not a
Piece.
genre. That's kind of a... See, I didn't think about that. That's kind of a... Because One Piece is never going to end.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you're always going to get something new.
And it's rewatchable too. So
Yeah, everything after the first two seasons is rewatchable.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just rewatch it forever. Shelby?
I don't know, because all the anime I ever watch is like 24 episodes long.
Well,
Or 50 episodes long.
do you have an anime that you've rewatched a lot?
I've watched Gravitation like 50 times. It's a 13 episode long anime, and I could probably recite it back to you.
Is that something you'd be happy seeing for the rest of your life?
No.
No.
No. I would only be happy seeing it for the rest of my life if I could
Fucking
show it to other people.
If you could show it to other people? Why?
Yeah, because, okay, I showed this. This is the yaoi. This is a boys' love anime. Like,
Well, yeah,
okay,
we,
not
should probably,
hardcore.
we should probably differentiate between the two. Anime that is based off of yaoi or boys' love is usually just called boys' love. Yaoi is penis insertion.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, this is a boys' love.
So it's not explicit.
No, it's not explicit. It's implied that they, do, but that doesn't happen on screen. So I showed this anime to my cousins, and at the time they were like, I don't know, 9 and 10, we'll say, and they might have been a little older. I'll say 12.
Wait, male or female?
Male. My cousin Steven.
Okay.
He's not going to watch this. He won't care. But he saw this, and he was like, this is so funny. This is great. He loved it because it's comedy, too. And then, like, when he saw that the two main characters were guys and they liked each other, he was just like, that's cool. Like, he thought it was the coolest thing, and he just straight up admitted, like, I don't know, he went on a speech about how he straight up preached. He was like, I might kind of sort of, like my best friend, but that's okay. It's not like I love him or I'm in love with him, but, it's because we're bros. And those two can be in love, and that's cool. And just because I watch the show doesn't mean I'm gay, but gay people are great. Like, I don't know, he just went on this
Gay
rant.
people are great. They hit on me all the time.
And he's the funniest kid. He's not a kid anymore. He's like 2 feet taller than me now, but he was in love with this anime, and so was his younger brother. And I don't know why, but for some reason, the comedy, and they just loved it. They watched it like 3 times while I was there. We all watched it together, and there was like no discrimination. They didn't care that it was boys' love, and Steven was like, that guy looks like a girl anyway, because he has pink hair, and he's real tiny, like, he's like my size, and he has bright pink hair, and he's a singer of some sort of J-pop group, so, he was like, he looks like a girl anyway, but whatever, he's awesome. And it was, like, I don't know.
I've never been able to watch it because I don't like the art style.
I understand that. It's a little older. And
I love me some boys' love. I watched the shit out of it.
Fuck yeah. Except for the illustration is not so good.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric?
For me, it'd be Hajime no Ippo. I've watched that series from beginning to end at least 20 times. And I get as excited as I was the first time I watched it every time I watch it.
That's always awesome, having something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, if people don't know, it came here briefly in manga form and a few DVDs. It was called Fighting Spirit. Essentially, it follows a character named Ippo Makunochi, who is, at the beginning, he's a kid who gets picked on a lot. And it's probably why I associated with him when I was younger, is because, I mean, I didn't really get picked on, but I didn't feel like I fit in because of, I guess, my closeted anime habit. But he gets picked on, then he ends up becoming a professional boxer, and it's all about him and his dedication to boxing and becoming the Japanese champion. So, just, I mean, the fighting, the way they do the boxing matches in that anime is fucking just incredible. Like, if you ever have time, just YouTube Ippo fights, and you'll watch some of the boxing matches. They're fucking the way they're illustrated, the way it's paced. It's all fucking fantastic, and I can watch it as many times as I want and never get bored.
I guess we didn't really get an answer from you, Shelby, because I was douche and interrupted.
Oh, no, it's fine. Honestly, that really kind of is the answer. If I could share it with people all the time, honestly, that's the best answer I can give, because I don't have a show I like that's really long that would last.
Sustain you?
Exactly, because they're all really short, because I don't have the attention span to watch, One Piece or Naruto at, full length. I'd die. I would just make up the stories in my head and continue to... Actually, that's probably why I like Gravitation so much, because it ends somewhere and then I can just continue whatever I want, what they do during the day in my brain. Because, I like LARPing and stuff, and I have an imagination. That's my show, is my brain.
That works. I think that's an acceptable answer. Shelby, what is your viewer question?
Okay,
Wait,
so...
what was yours, Katie? Oh, One Piece. You were the first one.
Well, I don't know. I think One Piece, not only because I think it's an awesome show after the first 2 seasons, but because it is everlasting. I mean, there's shows that I've watched a million times over again, but there's so much more in the One Piece world than there is in so many other animes that I would get bored. So yeah, that's why. It's One Piece.
So what I was going to say is the show that's, for me, that's quickly coming up on One Piece as far as length and rewatchability would be Fairy Tail. I love Fairy Tail.
I actually really, really, really love that show, but I go through these... With One Piece, it's always like, oh, I want to see the next episode.
Yeah, see...
But with Fairy Tail, I'm like, I'm just going to kind of step back and just... I
do that with both One Piece and Fairy Tail. Like, I haven't seen any of the new season for Fairy Tail.
Yeah, neither have I.
But One Piece, I'll stop watching it for 50 episodes and then just binge watch 50 episodes of it. Because it is so fucking long that having to go week to week is just brutal, because the pacing in One Piece is almost like the pacing in Dragon Ball Z, where the fights tend to take a lot longer than your typical shonen anime. So I don't want to just leave it all. Like the current arc where they're in Dressrosa, is that the name of the place?
Yep.
I was watching it up until Luffy got into the Coliseum, and then I caught up to it, and it was like I was waiting week to week for him to do something cool in the tournament, but each episode it was like everybody else doing shit, and I'm like, oh, I can't fucking do this. So I just dropped back and watched something else and let One Piece kind of advance so I can binge it.
I do that with One Piece just because, it is frustrating having to wait. And then those fucking intros last like 30% of the goddamn show, which is so irritating. But for One Piece, I think it's different, though, because I still, I have that fire, that passion. I'm like, oh, fuck, I want to watch it.
I've got it down to a science with One Piece. Like, if I'm watching on Crunchyroll, I know 5.5 minutes is usually where the episode starts.
Yeah, that's what I always do. I'm like, okay, to skip. But it's still frustrating because I feel like so much content is missing.
Yeah. There'll be times where, like, the One Piece intro/recap is, like, 10 minutes long, and then you only get, like, 18 minutes or 15 minutes of new content before the ending, and it's like, it doesn't even feel like a full episode.
Yeah, it's kind of a ripoff, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, with Fairy Tail, there's those moments where I lose momentary interest. I haven't watched it probably about 3 months now. Obviously, the next month or so, I'm probably gonna binge watching it up to the most recent episode. But
I think what usually kills it for me is that typical anime trope of they're weak and they suck, so they have to do something to realize that they're actually strong again, and then they finally win. It's just one of those tropes that I can't stand in anime. One Piece, like we were talking about it before we went on air, that One Piece is doing it with Usopp. Usopp is one of my favorite characters in the show, but every time he gets into a fight, he's a coward until he realizes I can't be a coward anymore, and then he's awesome. Like, he went through the whole 2-year time skip to become awesome. I wish Oda would just keep him awesome.
He's already established this. One thing, though, that I do think about with that specific episode, which I know we're off tangent, but I'm just going to finish this, is Robin ended up getting turned into a toy. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, everything from the arc where they're trying to where they're trying to save her, like...
Enies Lobby?
Yeah, thank you. I just think so much character development disappeared because she ended up disappearing, so I think he reverted a little bit. But still, it's fucking irritating. I just don't want to see that anymore. It's so stupid.
Yeah. I mean, they do it with certain characters, and it's usually the same 3 characters in One Piece. It's usually Usopp, Chopper, and Nami. And I hate that they do that, because there's stuff like in Thriller Bark, you know, the Thriller Bark arc, where Chopper was really fucking badass in the Thriller Bark, at the end of Thriller Bark. You know, at the end of Skypiea, Nami was really cool when she got a hold of the dials and modified her Climattack, her weapon. You know, and then Usopp, of course, when he was Soga King in Enies Lobby. You know, there are moments where they're so badass that it kind of pisses me off that they revert back to the way they were when we first started the adventure with them. Because we know they're badass, we know that they can kick some ass, but it's almost like they forget they can kick ass.
Yeah.
But it happens in all those shonen anime, like Fairy Tail does it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times Natsu has become like the ultimate wizard, just in the next arc to be the wizard that gets his ass kicked by everybody.
What the fuck? Just let me be happy and let me just kick ass all the time. But I guess I can't choose those things.
There are certain anime. That was my next question that I had pulled 2 questions for this podcast, and the second one was which anime trope do you hate the most?
Wait, what was your first question?
If you can only watch one show.
Oh yeah, never mind. That came from you. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Wow, that's Shelby. We haven't heard you speak in a while. Which trope do you not like?
Well, wait a minute. Why did you get 2 questions?
Yeah, no, let's not go there. Let's go to her question.
Go ahead, Shelby.
we went on a One Piece tangent.
We haven't heard from you, so what's your answer to this question? You don't get one.
Hey, we were in One Piece mode. You know how it gets.
I know, right? We get off track, man.
Okay, so
it was funny seeing Shelby's face the first time you and I were
geeked out.
The 3 of us were together in person, and you and I geeked out over One Piece, and she was just standing behind you like, what the fuck
I was just
happened?
sitting there. I was just sitting there smiling, and like, I don't have a fucking clue what you guys are talking about.
We've had a great moment.
Then I would try to say something, but I couldn't because you guys were just locked in. Like, I'm like, okay, I fucking tried. I'm just sitting here.
I know, right? If we ever get super off topic with One Piece or whatever, just tell us to stop.
I should probably just scream, "School days, motherfucker!"
I know, right? Traumatize.
Just traumatize me. I'm all shivering in the corner and shit.
Oh, your question. Do it now.
Okay, my question requires a collaborative answer.
Oh
yeah.
Meaning, it's not going to be just you, like, Katie, what's your answer? Eric, what's your answer? It's all of us have to come to some sort of conclusion.
Oh, no.
Somehow. So we're basically... It's quick groaning. Wait, you're whining. Okay, so, and Katie, I'm sorry you're gonna hate me for the anime genre I picked, but
damn it,
I deal with it. Okay, so if we were the three of us, if we were in a sports anime, basically, what roles would we play? Who would we be, and like what would our anime be, and what would we be like?
Well, this is kind of a hard question, just because I don't watch those. So
but that's why it's a collaborative question.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so what? I have no idea. Eric?
Well, I mean, I think the obvious answer is I would be the main character because, I mean, come on.
Oh, you would be the main character.
Because you have a penis?
That's the thing.
No, it's because I'm awesome.
It's sports.
Penis has nothing to do with it.
It's sports. So there is no main character.
Yeah, that's true.
We're a team.
That's not true. That's not true.
We're a team.
The story tends to follow at least one character.
Well, see, and even Kuroko no Basuke, the main character, who's the namesake of the show, he's not the ace. He's Kuroko, and we all love him, but he's not the ace of the team.
He is the ace. He's the phantom ace.
No, he's not.
I don't know what
that's
we're
why they
talking
keep.
about.
That's why they keep saying every time he's on the court that when he's on the court it amplifies everybody else's play style.
But that's the thing.
I'm sorry, Taiga wouldn't be fucking
other
Taiga
players,
without Kuroko.
But they are both. They are the shadow and light. They work together.
No, sir, because there are times where one of them's off the court and the other one's not. So he has to work with the rest of the team.
There are. But neither of them is... There's no one specific main character. That's why I pick sports, because not any one of us can be the only character that's followed around by the camera. Everyone gets a story.
No, I'm the ace.
Okay.
I'm just
okay.
Kidding. Honestly,
Katie.
In all honesty, I would probably be the fucking the advisor, the teacher.
Okay, can we explain to Katie what the ace is exactly, Rick? That's your job.
Well, I think I get the general
pretty
gist.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, I think we're good on that.
It's the main person on the team, the anchor, the star of the team.
Yeah.
So in Dia no Ace, it's the pitcher, which isn't actually true because the captain of the team, I guess, isn't the pitcher, but the story follows the usually in sports the story follows the ace.
So for all of our listeners, I don't watch these kinds of shows. I'm pretty sure it attributes to the fact that I was in sports until I was like 17.
Don't worry, you will.
I really don't want to. Anyway, I really have nothing to contribute, so you guys have to tell me who I would be, because I have no fucking idea.
I think Katie would be the talented, lazy person.
What's his name from Kuroko? The purple hair?
Yeah. Murasaki. Like the one that has all the talent but just doesn't have any of the drive to do it.
I can get with that.
So, like, you're really, really, really talented and people respect you.
But it's just
and they know you're
you.
powerful, but you're just like,
To put it into terms that I think Katie would understand more, it's like seeing that person in art class who can just like whip up a badass drawing in like 2 minutes, but then be like, I don't really feel like doing this anymore.
Oh, fuck that. Okay, yep, I know. I feel that way though. Like, yeah, I get that, because I can get behind this. That's all I'll say.
You're the genius. You're totally.
And I guess continuing with my opinion, Shelby, you are more of the Kuroko type, the type who isn't necessarily born with the talent, but works their ass off to obtain it, but is always overshadowed by the Katie character.
That's definitely true, because I'm not, especially when it comes with, actually it's really with anything, I'm not really born into any sort of particular talent unless it's singing, and even that, I'm not, oh look, it's Mariah Carey all of a sudden, and I'm just not super over-the-top talented. I have to push for everything. Even back in elementary school, it was like there was always that one kid who did better at everything. I hated him. He made me so mad. His name was Riley. I can't believe I still remember that stupid kid's name.
We always remember.
Riley, and then there was this girl named Jordan Forsythe, and she picked on me until one day she let me borrow her crayons for some strange reason.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Wow, don't say that again. That was horrible. What's the guy's name? Is it Atsushi? Did I fuck that up?
Who? What? Huh?
The purple-haired dude. I wanna investigate him.
Oh, Murasaki. Is that his name?
Murasaki Bara?
Yeah, Murasaki Bara.
Dude! This is why I hate these shows. These fuckers are 16 and he looks like he's 30.
Yeah.
It's
funny too because the people like the what's the name of them? The Generation of Miracles characters.
Yeah.
They're all named after their hair color.
That seems appropriate.
Kisei is not named after. No, wait. Kisei is
light, isn't it?
Light. Yeah.
And then Kuro is black or shadow, and that's what his character is. But then you have people like Akamichi, who is red-haired, or Midoriyama, who is green-haired.
Green.
Or Aoi-kun, is that his name?
It's Ao something, but yeah, it's blue with some other nonsense after it.
I think you guys hit it on the fucking head, man. Fucking sadistic and childish, has a sweet tooth, is good at it, but doesn't really give a shit about it. This seems pretty spot on.
Alright, you guys keep talking. I'll be right back. I have to go do some.
But yeah, I think he's right. I would be more of a Kuroko type character, and I really like Kuroko. He's freaking adorable, and he has a little puppy that looks just like him.
The, like, blonde, or not the blonde, the blue-haired guy?
Yes, he is. Does he have a bio that you can look at and read? That would be great.
Yeah, probably. I just have to find it. It's just... So I've seen this, like, you know, GIFs and shit on Tumblr of the show, and it looks cool, but I just don't like sports.
I thought it wasn't going to be a really good show because I was like, I don't like sports either. You showed me Ace of the Diamond, and I thought I didn't understand. I didn't know what was going on. I don't like the art. But then we watched Kuroko, part of it, and I was like, oh my god, I love this show. What's wrong? And then it was like, babe, why don't you want to watch Kuroko? I want to watch Kuroko right now. There's new episodes. Come on. Like, you know.
Speaking of which, we're behind like 4 episodes.
We are, I know.
It was funny because she was listening to it.
For mine.
And I heard it faintly when we were watching WrestleMania this past weekend. And
this is the best story.
I'm like, what is that? Like, it sounds so familiar. And then I heard Katie laugh, and then I heard Shelby laugh. And like, that's our podcast. And I look at my mom, and she's like, she's listening to it on her phone. I'm like, don't listen to that. And she's like, what? I was like, don't listen to that. She's like, why? I was like, no, I'm just messing. You can listen to it. And then I forget, there was something I said in it. I don't know. We were all fucking cussing our asses off. But oh my god, she's like, is this Shelby? I was like, yeah. She's like, who's this? I was like, it's Katie. And she's like, who's the guy? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, who's the guy in it? I'm like, I'm the guy in it. What are you talking about? And she's like, your voice sounds so weird. I was like, what the fuck?
That's insulting.
His mom didn't recognize his voice.
I would never want my mom to listen to this. Especially if we get into the 18 and up stuff.
But the reason why she listened to it is because somebody shared it on Facebook.
Shelby?
From their YouTuber page.
My fan page, yeah. Because mom loves me.
Wow, we were.
But yeah, it was a funny little story. She's one of our very first listeners, and she didn't know I was fucking on it. So,
Mom, we love you.
Don't suck up.
I'm not sucking up. I'm just telling her I love her. She's our biggest fan. Come on.
She's my biggest fan. She tunes in for me.
She loves me most.
It's not a point.
Okay, so we have to figure out who you would be, Rick.
I think I'd be the big boob manager.
That seems
the girl.
totally
the
appropriate.
Girl. Okay. I was like, who are you talking? Oh, okay.
Because the very first, I don't think it was the first time, but it was like the second, maybe the third time I met Katie. She came over to my apartment, and we had I was giving her like this huge speech about art and what art is to certain people and talent and all this other shit. I didn't even know her I know her from Jill down the street, but we started talking about art, and I got like really into it. And telling her it's all about hard work and all this other shit. So I think I'd probably be like the mentor character.
I think that would suit you. Yeah, that's totally you. I can see you giving speeches and screaming and like.
If I'm not the mentor, I would be like the extremely dashing and handsome villainous type character on the rival team that all the girls just piss themselves over.
That is absolutely bullshit. Not in a million years. If anything, you would just be the incredibly nice guy who gets shat on.
No, fuck that. I'm an asshole.
So you'd be Kisei.
I'd be Kisei, probably.
Yeah.
if we're tying everybody to Kuroko characters.
Because bless his heart.
God damn it. I just want to be the Vegeta character once.
Vegeta dies like 5 times. And
everyone dies like 5 times in that show. Krillin,
but he
50
dies
times.
the most.
No, Krillin dies the most. Krillin, Yamcha, and probably Chaozu are the ones that die the most in that fucking show.
Oh, but Chaozu. Okay, we're not talking about DBZ. We're talking about my question. Katie was going to say something.
Have we answered that question?
I think so.
Yeah, we have. You said something about Kisei, though. You asked who Kisei was.
Oh, he's blonde. I already looked it up.
Yeah,
Kisei he has probably the dopest ability in that whole show.
Oh my God, and then the most recent episode that we saw.
So, is there an anime that you wholeheartedly regret watching?
Huh.
Oh, I guess for Eric it might be School Days, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I wholeheartedly regret it because the first 3/4 of that it was alright. It was just the twist at the end that mind fucked me. But like as full on regret because it was bad?
It can be anything. If it was bad, if it just fucked you up really badly, if it was just shitty and you wish you hadn't or if something like if you've watched something and you just couldn't physically finish it.
I have one. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, so a couple of years ago, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys can attest to this, but we didn't really have the sites like Crunchyroll to watch anime. We were pretty much stuck with what was on Toonami or what our local Best Buy happened to acquire in their manga or in their anime buys. So I don't even know if they have fucking anime aisle anymore in Best Buy, but when I was younger, that was like my go-to spot for anime. I'd go to Best Buy, go straight to the anime aisle. It was between DVDs and music, and it's where all the foreign films and shit usually sat. But every now and then they would do like just these off-haul sales. Like they just need to unload fucking everything, so you can get like 2 or 3 seasons of a show for like $10. And I went there and there was a sale going on, and it was like buy one DVD get one DVD free. And at the time, the DVDs usually consisted of anywhere from 5 to 6 episodes of a season. And I saw this set of anime, and it was called Glass Fleet, and each DVD had a season on it. So I think it was like a 2-disc set for each DVD case, but it wasn't by what was in the package. It was just by like the DVD box itself. So you buy one DVD box, you get one DVD box for free or half off or whatever it was. So I was looking at the cover. The cover was fucking weird because it had like this dude with like 50 chins, like this big fat dude, and he had a mustache on each one of his chin rolls. And I was like, that's kind of weird. But I was reading the back of it, and it was about space pirates. And I was like, that seems pretty cool. Fuck it. It's only $10. We'll roll the dice on it. So I get home, and I pop in the first disc. And I watched the first episode, and it was alright. It was like one of those anime that had like that really bad CG in it. Like it was like when CG was first like coming out, and they were integrating it with anime. So a lot of the space stuff and a lot of the ship stuff was all done in like really bad CG. And the story, to this day, I can't even tell you what the fucking story was because it was popping around so much and it was just so disconnected with itself that all I could really do to rationalize anything in my head was like, weird dude, 3D battle. Weird dude, 3D battle. And I watched the first disc and I popped in the second disc and I got halfway through that episode on that second disc and I was like, I can't fucking do this. I can't fucking do it. I turned off the TV, took the fucking disc out of the DVD player, and put it on my shelf. And to this day, that second box set that I have is still cellophane wrapped and I haven't done shit with it because it was the single worst anime purchase I've ever made in my life, and I keep it to remind myself to never buy a $10 disc set at Best Buy again because it was fucking terrible. Sorry if you make Glass Fleet. I apologize for just ripping apart your shit, but it was not bueno. No bueno.
Shelby?
Okay, so does an anime like rewatch count?
Sure.
Because I don't regret watching the anime initially when I was a child, but I regret going back and watching it.
That is valid. I can get behind that.
Okay. I totally regret when I decided to rewatch Tenchi Muyo, the Tenchi Muyo dub.
Which one? There are a couple of them.
I don't know which one. It was the one that I saw on TV when I was younger.
I think Tenchi in Tokyo was one that was on TV.
It was Tenchi Muyo. It wasn't Tenchi in Tokyo.
It might have just been the first series, Tenchi Muyo. Because I remember that being on Toonami.
It was on Toonami.
I haven't even dared to go back and watch that show.
I watched it as a child, and it was the greatest show when I was little. It was so much fun. We role-played to it on the playground, and we... I'm not joking. I'm legit serious. And we had fun, and we talked about it, and it was, a great time when I was younger. When I didn't realize that the voice acting was total and utter shit. Oh my god. I decided, I love this show. It was so great. I can find it on the internet now. I wanna watch it again. I wanna experience the joy. No. Ryoko's voice? Oh my god, no.
Ever since I've grown up, I can't do dubbed stuff at all. I just refuse.
And a lot of dubs are great. I still like dubbed anime.
I still can't do it.
I can't think of an anime in the last 4 years that I've watched that was dubbed.
It's just really hard when you've seen something as a kid and it was so great, and then you grow up and watch it and I
totally just lied.
It's horrible.
I remember watching... I was curious because remember when they announced that Funimation was picking up One Piece?
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to take over and redo what 4Kids fucked up? I was super excited for it, and then just completely lost interest because I don't watch dubbed anime. Nothing against dubbed anime, it's just
not for me. I get what you mean.
I prefer the original audio track because I feel like there's a lot of
subtext
emotion that's lost in translation.
Yeah.
But I went back and tried to watch some of the older, I guess at this point, older One Piece episodes that were dubbed by Funimation, and oh my god, you just have this idea because you're so used to the Japanese voice cast of how they should sound if they were speaking in English, and then when you go watch the American dubs of it, they don't sound that way, and it's so fucking weird. Like, it's not bad, it's not good, it's so weird. It's like watching a dog meow. Like, it's just the weirdest fucking thing. Like, I think it's Usopp in the American version that has the voice of... It has, the guy who did Krillin's voice in Dragon Ball Z does Usopp's voice in the One Piece dub. And every time I hear Usopp talk, I cannot stop seeing Krillin. It's so fucking strange.
With Sailor Moon, that kind of happened to me because I grew up watching it in German. And then when I was like 16, I was like, oh, it's all on YouTube. So I ended up rewatching the entire series every season. But it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
It was fundamentally wrong. But I think it's interesting because when I was really, really young, I watched the whole Full Metal Alchemist series. And I watched it in dubbed, but then I tried to go just watch the subbed version. And his voice gets so high-pitched in the Japanese version that I can't watch it.
It's the whole reason why I can't. It's hard for me to watch Dragon Ball Z dubbed or subbed because
the voices. Yeah, it happens both ways.
Yeah, you get so used to like Sean Schemmel as Goku or Chris Sabat as Vegeta that when you go back to the original voice cast, and the lady who does, I think it's Japanese Krillin, does Luffy in One Piece. And I was watching a documentary where, is that right? Or does she do Goku? I don't remember. Anyway, no, she doesn't do Goku. The lady who does Goku is like super fucking famous for doing Goku. Like she does Goku on everything in Japan. And to hear him do like his Kamehameha or even just power up, that high-pitched screaming that he does makes him sound like such a little kid that it's just it's such a big difference between Sean Schimmel screaming, Kaioken, and the original, and I apologize, I forget her name, but the original voice actress doing Kaioken as Japanese Goku. Like, they don't even sound like the same, like they would be the same character. Like, it's just so the opposite ends of the spectrum, I guess, as far as like the women doing the main male leads in Japan, and the deep voiced James Earl Jones types doing it in the U.S.
Yeah, a lot of the U.S. stuff, like, which is kind of creepy because sometimes you get those like 14-year-old boys and they sound like fucking 30-year-old men, and you're just like, this isn't
like
right.
Fucking like Chad from Bleach in the dub.
Oh yeah.
He sounds like a 40-year-old smoker.
Fucking,
which, I mean, he has a pretty deep voice in the Japanese version, but
it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Shelby answered right.
Yeah, can I say one more thing, though?
Yes.
It would be as if... Can you imagine if they took the voice of Pikachu, who is the same girl? They never changed the voice of Pikachu. If they took
She does
that
Chopper, too, in
and...
Japanese version of One Piece.
Do what?
She's also the voice of Tony Chopper in One Piece, Japanese version.
Mm-hmm. But they keep they keep her voice in everything. So imagine if they changed her.
Yeah, it's true.
I think it's just a matter of preference and just growing up with these certain characters.
Mm-hmm.
And now I just prefer subbed because, like, after a while, I just realized when I watched subbed versions instead of the dub that the context was totally different in a lot of situations.
Especially with the inflection on certain words and certain phrases.
So, have you guys seen Guilty Crown?
No.
Don't watch it.
Okay.
It's one of those that's super badass, super awesome. You're like super excited about this character.
Crown? Is it like Guilty Gear?
It's a fantasy, but anyway, it's really cool. It's really bumped up, and you're like super excited about it. And then in the very end, they shit on you so bad. It's just so. I've never been so disappointed by the end of an anime before.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just gonna spoil it. So the super awesome badass hero ends up blind and just like super shitty and sad at the end. And you're just like, oh, cool, awesome. And I think he loses his arm too. It's just horrible.
I never heard of it. Guilty Crown?
Guilty
I've
Crown.
heard of that title, I just haven't seen it.
It's just don't watch the last episode and you'll be fine.
Yeah, like School Days. Don't watch the last 2 episodes. Watch everything else.
But yeah, see, that was pretty quick, so fuck you, Eric.
I'm just saying.
Alright, guys, so that concludes the first portion of our podcast. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and when we're back, we'll talk about Parasyte. Hi, guys, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and dive right into Parasyte, one of the many shows out there right now. So, before my co-hosts tell me how horrible or what have they, I feel like there was a lot of potential that was missed with this one. It was a little bit lackluster, and I was really disappointed that, because all of us wait for that moment for the main character to be a powerhouse, and that happened for a very
get stabbed again.
Yeah, it was a very small instance, and it never really. I don't know. It was a bit disappointing, but it was cool. Like, it had potential.
This show was a roller coaster for me, and I'm honestly surprised at your reaction to it, because I thought for sure you and Shelby were gonna be, have a different opinion than I was gonna have. But first off, let's just say that let's start off with some positives. This show probably has the best anime opening of this season.
Yeah.
That fucking song is so sick. I love that whole intro sequence for Parasyte.
And it's on our Tumblr.
Yeah, it's one of the songs we picked for our Tumblr audio. But, yeah, this show was just such a roller coaster for me. Because, like, it started off very intense as far as, like, the mystery and the murders and the way these parasites...
And him getting stabbed in the chest by his mom.
Like, it was fucking... It was crazy. And I think the reason... And I was talking to Shelby yesterday when we wrapped up watching it. I think the reason why I lost interest in it was because of his transformation. Like, when he was a struggling human, not really knowing what to do, all he had was Migi to rely on, it gave you that sense of almost hopelessness when he got into the shit. Like, you didn't know how he was going to get out of it. But then the second he, post fucking Katie dream sequence where he gets stabbed in the chest, where he like kind of integrates with parasite cells and becomes almost a superhuman, it just didn't go anywhere. Like, the story was ramping up and ramping up and ramping up, and then he got stabbed, and then it just slowed down to this like weird plateau where it was still kind of progressing, but it wasn't progressing with the intensity that it was at the beginning of the series.
Yeah.
So there was a point where Shelby and I watched it when it first started airing, the season, and the three of us got together and decided we're going to do this podcast, and Your Lie in April would be the first show that we covered. We stopped watching it, and we stopped watching it pretty much until it wrapped up. So like the last probably 10 episodes we didn't watch until the last couple of days. But yeah, for me, like every time Shelby's like, all right, we need to watch this, or hey, let's watch this, it was like I want to, but then I don't, because it's so slow, and I don't know, like I just didn't, I couldn't find the spark that I initially found with the show. And then the ending was just, I'm glad they went, they took a left where most anime would take a right, as far as the ending is concerned. I appreciate that, but I think this was one of the few anime where they should have stuck to the trope, because it would have been that much more impactful if they just stuck to the trope than what they ended up doing with it. So where I was stoked that the happy ending was achieved, it almost felt like we were shortchanged by them kind of not explaining how the happy ending happened. It was just left to like interpretation. I
completely agree that it plateaued, because it was so much build-up. And that's why I'm frustrated, because, like, they make him out to be this cold superhuman, and I only get to see him fucking kill something, like, once. That's not fair. I think if they had, like, pushed it further...
You only got 2 episodes of diddle time?
Yeah, like...
That sucks.
That upset me a little bit. I mean, it was still good, and I finished it, but it wasn't as good as I think they could have made it. Shelby?
Okay, so apparently I have the unpopular opinion.
How weird is that? I thought for sure I was going to be the one that was...
Weird. So, I don't know really where to start, other than I haven't read the manga, but most of the time the manga includes more details, and maybe that would have given you guys a little more satisfaction.
But the art is so bad.
You two. Artists, man. No, I'm kidding. But really,
it's true.
Yeah, you have to apologize for that.
I agree with you that it plateaued, but I feel like the reason it did that was to bring a connection back with Satomi. That, they did that to do exactly what you guys said, which is reestablish sort of a human connection. And that's what the entire story was about. He lost...
I don't even think it was Satomi that plateaued it for me. It was Reiko. Is that her name? Reiko? The Parasyte.
Reiko.
that had the baby. She was the one that I feel completely ruined the vibe. Because at the beginning of the show, these parasites were made out to be the next step in evolution as far as organisms on this planet. And they were going to devour the humans to take over, you know what I mean? They really played up this alien invasion scenario. But then they got to the Reiko stuff, and they really fucking humanized the parasites. Which... it was a combination of Reiko basically becoming a human and us accepting and starting to really like Migi. You know, so we started getting this conflict, at least for me, I started getting this conflict of parasites are bad, but not these parasites because I like these parasites, but parasites are bad, but these ones are good. Like, I just wanted them to be evil.
But that's not how anything is.
No, yeah, for sure.
That's not even how humans are, and that's what the show is demonstrating.
And that's the undertone of the whole series, but the trajectory of the first couple of episodes were building up the parasites to be basically evil incarnate, and they were just gonna fucking destroy and kill everything. Which, I mean, there were still their fair share of blood and gore in the later episodes, but I don't know, it just... I don't know. It didn't... The transition... It didn't transition well for me.
To me, the most powerful scene... Well, there were two, but the most powerful was, like, the ending. But before that was the scene where Tamura Reiko was holding that baby, and she's shielding it with her hair and her hardened cells, and she chose to die. A parasite. She chose to let them shoot her, but she was like, you can kill me, but you will not kill this fucking baby. She even killed someone else who tried to kill her baby, not even realizing that, you know, the guy claimed it was a joke. He was like, I would never do that. When the man held that child up, he was gonna drop the baby off of a bridge, or so he claimed. And then he said, no, I wouldn't do that. Right? You know, she killed him. But she didn't know that. All she saw was, that is my child, human or not, and you're not hurting it. And then it goes into the scene where the cops are shooting her, and she gives the child to, what's his name? Shinichi? And tells him to protect the baby.
Which we never see again, by the way.
Which is sad.
I thought there was going to be more with that.
I wish, you know, I wish he could have been able to do more, but given the situation, it kind of seemed like he couldn't inquire, because if he had, they would have outed him as Parasyte, and then the show would have been over. And we would have gotten to see the cops kill everyone.
Wait, I have something for this.
What?
Two things, actually. So, I think I'm more lining with Eric when it comes to, like, yeah, obviously the parasites need to become human, but I want to see more of them get their hearts ripped out by him. That was so awesome.
Like you can't create Superman and then not let Superman do anything.
Yeah, oh my god, it's so frustrating. Anyway, so when it comes to him getting outed, I would have actually really liked to see what would have happened with that.
Yeah, see, I wanted him to be outed when the prisoner...
Wait, no! God damn it, you stole it from me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let Katie say it, babe.
You jerk!
Let Katie say it. Katie, keep going.
Well, there's just so much buildup with the fucking serial killer outing him, and I would have really, really, really enjoyed to see what would happen.
I just wanted to see his dynamic where, you know, he gets exposed and he has to deal with the cops and the parasites.
Yeah, he's alienated both from parasites and human. He just, I really wish...
At least exposed it to fucking Satomi.
Yeah, that would have been... I was waiting every fucking episode to see if he said anything, but nope.
Which is probably the main reason why I missed that original girl. Who can tell the difference between parasites and humans.
I forgot her name.
Yeah, she died in like 4
episodes. It was really upsetting when she died. I didn't like that. I was not happy.
I just liked his reaction. That was awesome. Sorry, I
wanted the trajectory from the first half of it to continue. I wasn't expecting it to turn such a moral leaf. I don't know if that's the right term to use, but it got very human very fast, and I'm pretty sure that it's for the depth of the story, and there's a lot of social commentary that goes into it. But god damn it, I just wanted to see him cut some people open. Or
like during the whole Parasyte extermination, he just didn't take part.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Yeah,
but that's what they'd been preaching from the beginning. Like, Migi the entire time was like, you have to survive, I have to survive, don't get us fucking killed.
But what is the point?
It makes it boring.
Yeah, I don't think he should have got his emotions back the way he did. Because I know that was like a huge part of the story where when he finally faces and confronts Reiko, he'll finally snap out of that kind of catatonic phase that he's in, but it made him so weak in the final battle. Like, I just wanted him to jump up on the roof, save that fucking detective dude, and just wail on that fucking Parasyte.
Can I just...
Are you talking about, what was his name? Goto?
Goto, yeah.
Yeah.
But he couldn't have done that, because
he couldn't.
But he would have died.
He was gonna die.
He would have been dead.
Guys.
Yes.
Am I the only one who was kind of frustrated as to the fact that a rusty old fucking pipe killed him? Like, what the fuck?
I was very surprised by that. I was.
Yeah. Well, it was very unexpected. I didn't expect that, but it also felt really lackluster. I felt like I had been fucking... Something was stolen from me. The awesome final moment was totally ripped out from under my feet. I don't know.
I wasn't expecting Migi to detach and assimilate either.
I thought that was really cool how they exploded him. I like seeing explosions. He blew into a billion pieces. Come on.
Overall, I think it was a good show, but I don't think I'll go watch it again. Does that make sense? It's good to watch, but just it's not a rewatch.
I mean, as much shit as I'm giving the show, it is... Oh, that's a dog.
I'm so sorry.
Hi, Freya.
Wait,
that wasn't Freya, that was Simon, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god, really? I'm sorry.
Freya's
okay, sorry. I think Philip got home, so he always freaks out. Just give us 1 sec. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
It's alright.
Alright, so like even for all the shit that I give this show, it's really just personal preference. Like, I don't want to judge the show based solely on my opinion. As a show, as a story, I think it's still good. A fantastic series.
Yeah.
From the action to the way it's animated, it's some of the best fast fighting I've ever seen in a show, if that makes sense. Like, there's just the speed at which
the action. Some
of the cuts and stuff are made, the way that the Parasyte's heads unravel when they're going to attack. Like, some of that shit's just sick.
Or when that chick gets her fucking legs cut off.
Yeah.
That stuff, that was cool.
Like there's so many amazing things about this show that it's the main reason why I am so nitpicky when it comes towards the last half of the series, because it's so awesome. It's kind of like season 2 of Sword Art Online. The first season is so awesome and so epic that you just want that trajectory to keep going. You want that momentum to keep going in the second season. And then when it doesn't, it's like, it's good, but it's not as good as the first part. And that's basically what this is. Like, the show as a whole is good, but if they would have kept the momentum of the first part of the series, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, it was a good show. It plateaued. That's the best way of putting it. We got to that peak, and then we didn't really go much further.
I just want to know one more thing. Who liked the ending?
I didn't.
I liked the second to last episode. I think the very last episode was kind of a waste.
When it first started, I was asking Shelby, is this a recap episode?
Okay, I mean, when the Satomi psycho killer part, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Let's go back to just the last episode as a whole, because the one thing I do appreciate about that final episode is that it does go back to tie up the loose ends. Yeah, and that's something you rarely get in anime.
I just think that the whole serial killer situation, like, we needed to know where he was, but I feel like that specific part was not necessary.
Yeah, I was upset that he happened to just be there and decide to grab Satomi and trick Shinichi, and that made me mad. But that moment where Satomi falls, or he gets pushed over the building, Eric, you were like, oh, she's splat.
Yeah, and I was like, totally expecting it to be the anime trope of he didn't get there in time.
Because they show her falling and, like, gone, and I was already upset.
10 feet away from him.
Suddenly, he caught her. And I was like, oh my god, thank you. We've been through so much shit, please. Like...
Well, but even though Miggy did say, like, I'm gonna, go soul searching or whatever inside your body, he's not gone. He's still there.
He's searching for his soul.
Speaking of Miggy, there's one more scene I actually think I would like to discuss just real quick. It's probably going to take a few seconds. Is the sex scene? Because do you think Miggy was asleep? Because Miggy was so intent on sex there for a while, and then all of a sudden when it actually happened, he was nowhere.
Oh no, he was there.
I was hoping for I don't know, an awkward intervention of some sort.
I was thinking to myself, like, immediately, I thought, what about me? And I was like, nah, he'd be polite enough.
To be completely honest,
I disregarded that, but then now that I think about it, no, he would at least be observing or something, right?
He didn't even cross my mind. I completely forgot about because the sex scene was so out of place to me. Like, it was just like,
oh my gosh, yeah, it felt like a really weird throw-in.
I was like, this must have been like a last minute decision or something. So I just kind of like glossed over it. I didn't even really pay attention to it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was.
I think it was because it was such a dull sex scene too. Like,
maybe he was working the undercarriages. Shinichi was working the top. Who knows?
Oh, he would have used that power.
Hell yeah.
Come on.
Oh my god. I forgot all about that scene. That's really funny.
Where, like, fucking Miggy, like, creates a giant dick on his arm. I was expecting something to happen again.
It's like the genetic jackhammer.
That's the R-rated version, Katie.
God damn it, I want the R-rated.
That's the visual novel that goes with this game.
Holy shit.
Alright guys, that about wraps up today's episode. Next time when you come back to visit us, because you love us so much, we're going to go ahead and talk about how to raise a boring girlfriend. So come back and visit us again, and have a good night.
Bye.
Later.